That's a bit confronting. Hello, friends. Sorry about that. Hello, Mossy. Welcome. We're going to paint this bad boy. That is a big model. You can see a little bit behind the curtain what my stuff looks like. But we're going to try painting this. It's got a very Sauron feel, which I love. Very, very Sauron. It comes apart too, so you can build it up to be different levels depending on where you're at when you're facing him. But we probably won't be doing that. I'm contemplating gluing it. I think we'll go a light colour. I think sand yellow might be the go. Yes, Gunshanks, welcome. It is a tall boy. I've got a normal figure here that I can put beside it, which is a Kingdom Death model. So just so you get a real sense of scale. G'day Yaya. There you go. Very small. And here's a 54mm model. 78, 75. So it is big boy. With these ATO models, which are just board games figures, I don't try and do like the best quality paint jobs that I'm capable of. That would take far too long. So instead I just try and focus on very high contrast. That'd be fun. Very high contrast. So it looks awesome on the table when I'm playing my game. Yeah, it's look. I've been in those shoes, just waiting for games. You know, there's been instances where the Australian ship has been the last one to dock, or you know, Australia, they didn't have enough copies of a game, and so they sent it to America, and then we had to wait for it to get shipped from there. So I've been both first and last, and I definitely know which one I prefer to be. And I will say that as a general rule, Australia does tend to be earlier because we're closer to China, so the boats tend to arrive quicker. So it's nice to be in that position. But yeah, I feel your pain, the impatience of waiting for something that you've been waiting for such a long time for, and it gets worse. The closer it gets, the worse it gets, because you've been waiting for such a long time, and it's so tangible and close that those last few months are torturous. So I feel your pain, friends, and I wish for you all to get the game as quickly as you can. G'day, Gary. Haha, sunny coast. I'm only about 40 minutes from there. Beautiful part of the world. I'd say there's probably not many places better. Absolutely picturesque. Alright, now I'm going to let you in on special tip number 2. And that tip is, hey Sammy, get a big brush. This is a makeup brush. I bought a pack of 4. It cost $8. And they're giant brushes. I use this one for getting rid of dust on things. But I use this one for actually painting. You impressed by my makeup brushes, Mossy?
Yeah.
Yeah. I got them from Kmart. And then they actually came with a set of 4, and this one is actually reasonable for dry brushing on normal stuff. So there you go. That's a little pro tip for you there. I wouldn't call myself a pro, but a little tip for you. So now we're going to go with... No, I might use ivory, actually. Pale sand. There we go. Perfect. I'll turn my my palette on so you can see what's happening over there. To all my best friends. Oh look, I'll be honest about airbrushing. I absolutely love it. Hey Sean. I think it's just one of my favourite things about sitting down and painting is being able to use an airbrush and doing cool stuff with it. And it is it is something that there is a perspective that it's actually harder than it is. So I'm all for airbrushing as a general rule, but I will make this observation that there's a lot of trial and error in getting it right, and it's not something that you can really teach. You really have to practice your own setup, your own conditions. You know, the way that I airbrush is reliant on, you know, where I live, so the humidity, the types of paints I use, the exact mixture of my thinner, you know, all these little things combined. So, you know, you can have 1,000,001 articles that explain this is what you do with airbrushing, but until you sit down and actually do it with the stuff that you've got, it's really hard to fix. It's not difficult. It just takes trial and error. So I highly recommend it because it's a lot of fun. But as you can see, I just basically did exactly what the airbrushing did with this giant brush in a roughly similar time frame. So it's also not a necessary thing. But it does make big models like this a lot more straightforward generally. Alright, let's do some cheating. It's all made up for me. When I sit down, and there's people in the chat that can attest to this, I have no idea what I'm going to do. As soon as I sit down at the table, I'll go, I would like to paint this colour, and so I'll start. And where it ends up from there is often completely different, and sometimes exactly the same as what I anticipated, but very much I just let it all happen very organically as I'm painting. Yeah. Good morning, Topulus. Did you end up entering something in the competition, mate? The Kingdom Death? It's interesting because in so many ways I am structured and organised and absolutely meticulous, and yet great. I look forward to seeing it, and yet I'm very open to just doing whatever I feel like when it comes to painting toy soldiers. Quite different. Should be good. Yeah, those dates we've locked in. Buxo, so I do have to amend the time slightly because I think PhD's got it down for an hour earlier than it's intended. So I'll amend that shortly. But yeah, it's daylight savings in Australia. It started literally this morning. So it is a Tower of Babel, but I am also happy to see you. It probably looks harder than it is. What we're going to do after this little bit's dried is we're going to add some airbrushing of shadows, which will actually help everything that I've done just read a little bit better. And I'm going to make this eyeball glowing like Sauron. Whoa. It's a very cool model though. I actually had my first fight against this guy last night. Tried to anyway. No, we don't do daylight savings, Cragzob. The cows get worried if we do that, so we don't do it, but everyone else does. So it does actually tend to impact me, given my job and stuff. Or my former job. Used to have meetings and stuff that would happen at an earlier time because other people are based in Melbourne or Sydney. So it does impact us still. And the judging of the Kingdom Death Lanterns Rain Discord painting competition is a fine example of that, because Bucks will be an hour ahead of me. Which is nice. Mm. I'm not sure what this stuff is supposed to be, so I'll tell you a little bit about this game because it's been a lot of fun playing it. Yeah, all the bad guys have blood. It's a substance called ambrosia. So I feel like this is ambrosia. G'day, Plank. But I'm not exactly sure. Yeah, I'm not sure. Daylight savings is uh, ever going to happen in Queensland, um, but that's fine. I'm used to it. Yeah, not sure if this is ambrosia or whatever it is, but we're going to paint it so it's like dirty, sludgy slime. But we'll also have it be slightly brown, so it's not. The artwork for this is absolutely outrageous, by the way. It's sensational. Absolutely sick. Mm, yeah. I might do that the easy way. It does, yeah. I mean, this game is probably the most detailed story-based game that I've ever seen. It takes a lot of ancient Greek myth and spins it in a new way. But it's the most story I think I've ever seen in a game. And that's saying something because I've played a lot of games. But yeah, this one is very in depth. But yeah, this particular cycle, your ship has become stranded in the thrice cursed lands of Persia, and you find King Midas there, and he's got the Midas touch, where everything he touches turns to gold. And this Tower of Babel is a sentient living thing that pursues you across the lands of Persia. It is thrice cursed. Yes. 3 shall be the number of the counting, and the number of the counting shall be 3. 4 shalt thou not count, neither shalt thou 2, excepting that then proceed to 3. 5 is right out. G'day, Simon. Come on, Dano. Get it together, son. There we go. What are you doing? You absolute pest. Alright. This game does one small thing with the story that makes me really struggle to feel as connected to it. And that is the language that is used to describe the characters, the people, is always generic, because the game itself is you're allowed to have different characters, different heroes, and so it'll always say one of the Argonauts laughed, and to me that actually ruins my immersion just a slight bit, because I always want to hear about specific people, and that's the one complaint I would level about the writing in this game, because aside from that, it is absolutely incredible writing. But yeah, you just lose such a tiny little sense of immersion every time you're reading a story, and it's like, yeah, this is awesome. Oh, by the way, it's not actually a specific person, it's just generic Argonaut says X. But some of the moments that I've read in this game story have just absolutely, I've sat back when I was reading and gone, oh my god, that is awesome. Mostly from my knowledge of Greek myth and legend in a new way. Like you meet characters from ancient Greek mythology throughout your journeys in such a cool way. Such a cool way. So, yeah. This one looks like maybe we could go some dried tufts. Dried tufts might look good, actually. G'day, Jimmy. Yeah. G'day, Charles. Yeah, and it is just like, that's the only thing I find jarring about the narrative, is just that, because they have to use different language. Yeah, so that's a very small gripe in a very large game. Yeah, exactly. If it was specific named Argonauts, I'd be saying it's the best narrative I've ever read in a game. Sean, we have two separate judging panels actually next year. We have a standard judging panel and we have a masters judging panel. The panel hasn't been announced yet, I don't think. But yeah, we can do it on here because I'm the boss, so I get to do what I want. Yeah, so Dave, Nat, and Bucks are our judges for Masters, and Siona, Liam, and Migback, Nathan, are our judges for Standard. So what I've tried to do over the last few years is introduce some potential new judges, have some exposure through entering Masters last year, being involved in judging, picking out commendeds, stuff like that. So we've got a deeper pool of judges available for future events. And so we've also got Siona, who was the winner of Standard, and Nat, who was the winner of Masters. So both of them judging, which is great to also have female representation as in our judging panel in both Standard and Masters. So we're giving some new people, some new judges, an opportunity to cut their teeth on the judging experience, as it were, in Standard. People who've competed in Masters have gotten a gold, and also working through the guilds as well. We want to reward people that are actively involved in the guilds. Sort of. I don't know that being a judge is actually a reward as such, but it's just something we're trying to do. Yeah, I think we've really got to. Pretty much all of the decisions I make when it comes to Crimson are about sustainability and future proofing, because there's absolutely no doubt that there will be a point in the future when I do not have the capacity or the desire to be responsible for driving everything. And if we have a group of people that are ready to take up that mantle in a variety of different capacities, then that's good. It means that the event itself doesn't disappear into the ether when I move forwards. And at this point in time, that's not something that I'm contemplating for anytime soon. Although not having a job, I'm currently unemployed at the moment, friends. Not having a job certainly puts some question marks over what that would look like for next year, but fortunately that's been resolved. So yeah, future proofing is my main thing, and the judging expansion was a part of that. By having a deeper pool of judges, it gives those people that are currently involved an opportunity to step down and move into something else, should they wish to, etc., etc. Hello, Frog Jim. Alrighty then. So we'll just let this dry with a bit of hair drying. Let's use some white, some titanium white from Mindworks Studio. And we're going to reinforce this eyeball quite a lot. I haven't looked, the only ones I've seen is Sergio and Richard Gray, but one of the guys in the King of Death Discord posted some of his entries. Zoomy, who has a great YouTube channel if you haven't checked it out. And his entries are absolutely unfucking believable. And CHK Studio did the fucking best Nurgle diorama I think I've ever seen. Yeah, top. If you haven't seen CHKs, just check it out. It is absolutely wild. What are these? Are these things fire or they? Does CHK have a YouTube video? How did I not know CHK is? I love that guy. I've always got a funny story. CHK used to come to my stream all the time, and we were just chatting away all the time. And I used to go to his stream, and he's such a lovely dude. And then, like a year or two after that, I realised that he sent me a photo of he and I on stage together at SMC, and he was standing next to me. I had no idea that I'd actually even met the guy. And we were chatting away, and he's like, "Oh yeah, do you remember that time we were at SMC?" And I was like, "No." He sent me the photo. That was my photo of the two of us together on stage. Glorious, glorious stuff. All right, let's do a little bit of dark. Wonderful, man. Yeah. We were talking for like 2 years. And he's like, "Oh, that was so great." Like, did we? Cool, man. But he is actually one of the all-times. So we're just creating some deeper shadows now in the recesses and underground bits. Believe it or not, friends, this is an awkward model to paint. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Mate, it's not going to matter to me because I've painted the Sparrow Goblin. There is nothing that is going to faze me on painting Kingdom Death models anymore after painting the Sparrow Goblin. That is peak challenge, that figure. Peak. Peak. Sparrow Goblin, mate. In my cabinet, it is larger than the Dragon King. I'm so excited about going and watching CHK Studios videos now. I didn't even know. That's just another great thing for me and that guy. Okay, so we're going to use some fluorescent colours now. If you don't have fluorescent colours, don't stress. You don't need to use fluorescent colours on this guy. However, this eyeball is Sauron, and we want it to look like Sauron. Yeah, the Ivory Dragon looks to be impressively sized. That is a true and accurate statement, my friend. How we're going to have our cabinets, how my cabinet's going to handle that, I have no idea. Paint liquor. I think the Gold Smoke Knight's a nice bust. I actually tossed it up myself, but I find that hard to justify when I can buy busts that are, with full respect to the Kingdom Death world, better quality for 1/5 of that price. quality is maybe not the right word, more detailed sculpts. That one did have some nice filigree on the breastplate. I spent a lot of time looking at it actually. I was like, hmm. Do I want that? Because I am a Kingdom Death aficionado. Yeah, 300 USD is just a bit much for me. For what is essentially a... Oh, I just can't decide if I want to glue this or not. This is annoying the fuck out of me, but... Am I ever going to pull it apart and be like, yeah, cool? I don't think I am. We won't do it for the moment. Alright, Sauron. Yeah, look, I don't judge anyone who decided to pull the trigger on it. And I'm excited that they're moving into busts. Like, I think it's really cool. So yeah, because it feels like this year they've had like busts pretty much every 2 months in the web store. Hey Seb. His gaze is fixed north. Alright. Next step, we do some washes. Was it? Okay, cool. I still haven't watched any of it. Actually, no, what did I watch? I watched 2 episodes of the first season. Didn't captivate me. I was fine on it. Just it was fine. I made my girlfriend watch Batman Begins and The Dark Knight in the last few weeks. Now you should know that she does not at all appreciate good quality television. And she's absolutely very much enjoyed both of those. The Christopher Nolan Batman series could be best superhero movies ever made. Yeah, I've heard it's a bit of fun. I have not yet watched it myself. I will do so. That hairdryer is making these flexible around a lot, so maybe I'll glue those. That's fine. We'll add some red. We've got Blood Angels red, maybe? No, I think we'll go the dark one. Flash Terror's red. We fucked up. We fucked up, Deno. Haven't watched Penguin. Heard it's good. There's so many shows. So many shows available now. So little time. Alright. Crimson Brush should be good viewing this year. I think I'm going to glue this. I think I'm going to glue it. Because it's annoying the crap out of me. Alright, where's my base colour that I used on the other guy? Kiwi brown. Kiwi brown, texture like sun. Alright, I'm doing it. I'm gluing it down. I'm gluing it. People will say I'm crazy. What's the point in having an adjustable tower if you're not going to adjust it? It's a great question. But my number one thing is usability. I know. I think I wouldn't recommend this. I don't think I would say that most people would get more enjoyment out of the little moving of things around, but I'm just a painter. Just a painter. Alright, the highlights on these little doors are going to do a wonder of work. Have I run out of super glues, Mossy? Surely not. Where did we put them?
In the drawer. The wire rack drawer.
Nope. I'll use this one. Ooh. That's a great call out from Sebastian. Non-metallic metal best in show has not been the case. The last one that won best in show that was not sure. Oh, this is thick gel glue. I do not like that. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend doing what I've just done, but as a painter first, as a gamer first, probably doesn't make a lot of sense. But I'm happy with my decision. All right, where's that other brush gone? Where's my big brush, Deno? How long is this taking? 50 minutes. It's already looking pretty cool. See, I had a little showdown against this guy for the first time last night. And as I was finding my way back in the game, I just haven't played since. I think the last time I played this was end of 22. I remembered that this game is obscenely complex. Obscenely complex. I don't think there is a more complex game that I've ever played than this game. And I have played quite a lot of games. KDM is complex at higher levels, and the complexity probably I would say comes from the decision space. But I would say this is least 50% more complex than Kingdom Death. At least. I think this is the highest complexity board game rated on BGG that I've ever seen. And that is an accurate rating. And in most instances, I think it's a good thing. The complexity of this game gives you a lot of depth of choice and decision making. The showdowns are really engaging experiences. Probably does get a little bit overwhelming at times, especially when you haven't played for a year or two and you decide to move into this cycle, which is the most complex of all of them thus far. To have not played at all for 2 years and to walk back into some of that stuff. Yeah, I've managed to play Kingdom Death solo pretty comfortably, and I actually had a really great experience, which I'll talk about in a second about Kingdom Death, playing with a friend of mine recently, this last week, and I found it very, very easy to track everything that was happening for me as well as everything that was happening for him, because of my experience playing it. Now I've played a lot of Kingdom Death, so it's a lot of experience that I've got with that game, factoring in there. But we also didn't play with Ark Survivors and stuff, but we did use Scribe, and for me the main thing that makes it easy to track and enjoy is access to Scribe. So this one also has Scribe. The great dude who does that program has made this game as well in his app, which is very useful. But I would say it's going to be a little while before that gets updated. So I'm raw dogging it. I'm playing pen and paper at the moment in my campaign that I just started, and that is overwhelming. But yeah, actually, speaking of Kingdom Death, I did actually just have a friend, and we both had a week off work, and so he's always wanted to play Kingdom Death, so we decided to play a Kingdom Death campaign, and so we got up to Lantern Year 16, which in 5 days of play we only played for about 10 till 3, so only about 5 hours a day. It was actually a pretty good clip, I thought. We were travelling at a pretty good pace. Played a People of the Stars campaign. People of the Stars is just probably my favourite form of Kingdom Death. And yeah, so Lantern Year 16, we were absolutely going to win the campaign. I had no doubt about that. I had no doubt about that at about Lantern Year 4. We just had a lot of really good things occur early, We did have an early plague, which was less than ideal, but other than that, it was all great. And so, yeah, we got through those first few years. Our population was stable. So, but I got to experience it with one of my friends, and I haven't played Kingdom Death with another person for a long time. My first experience in 2020 with Kingdom Death was playing with a friend of mine, Sheldon, and we played through the whole campaign. We got all the way to the Gold Smoke Knight, which was great. We were defeated by the Gold Smoke Knight. We left him with 2 wounds, but it was a really fun campaign. And since then, I've just played solo, and getting to play with someone else who doesn't know everything about the game that I do, and watching them make decisions that I would never make was quite fun. There's a small amount of RNG in the game. No, there's a lot of RNG which can determine if you're going to win. But in all seriousness, the thing that will kill a Kingdom Death campaign is actually just the first few years. If you get through the first few years without any major significant bad things happening, usually you'll make it through, at least to the end, because the game is it's actually very hard to lose. The only way you can lose is if you run out of population. And so, as the moment you realise that, the game just becomes about, okay, cool, I'll just get as much population as I can. You do that, you get through to the end. And the dude I was playing with cottoned onto that pretty quickly. So, at no point was our population ever low. We won most of our showdowns. All of our showdowns, which then results in getting better gear, which then starts a positive spiral. Win showdowns, get more gear, get better gear. Better gear means you can win more showdowns. And so on and so forth. Ad infinitum. Well, it's not infinitum. It only goes for 30 lantern years. Anyone looking to buy yellow, this is the best yellow that you'll get. Soul yellow from Scale. Actually, this cold yellow is not too bad either, actually. Either of those are very good yellows. Very potent. Muy potente. So I'm going to assume that these tendrils are ambrosia. I don't actually know if that is the case or not. And so as a result, I will be painting them black and then giving them a gloss varnish. And that is what we shall do now. Let's use this black because I have a lot of it. Thank you, Lecric. Hello, All Might. How are you? So, now that we're reaching the final stages of this paint job, what we might add is just some little colour nuances. I'm always good, mate. Always good. So we might add some, maybe little purples. Everything is good, mate. Yes, it's been a little nervous period for a while, but everything's back on track now. I've said this many times on this stream, and I'll say it again. Use a big brush. Use a bigger brush than you think you need to use. For just about any painting, really. Big brush is the key. Painting a model like this, with normal miniature brushes, that is a surefire recipe for a sad time. So we're going to put this little guy down and pick out a new one, or pick up a new one to paint from the same game, because this guy is mostly done. So yeah, once all this is dried, I'll do a tiny little bit of airbrushing of maybe some greens and blues. But yeah, there we go. So yeah, I'll just do some little colours on the base and all that sort of stuff. And then the stuff that I just painted is going to be glossy, so we don't really need to do any highlighting on that. The gloss will actually do all the highlighting work for us. So yes, so that's two from this universe painted, the Demi-Djinn and the Babelian Lunacy. That's those two. Just need to let him dry. But let's check this guy out. You can't really see him, but his name is the Midas Score. He's like a big dragon. I think we're going to do this guy, because this guy looks sick. This guy's called the Dahaka. We'll do the Dahaka. Yeah, true metallic metal out of nowhere. I don't do a lot of true metallic metal. I really should do more. I should do it on a serious piece rather than just gaming stuff. I can do it, you know. White ink. For PVC plastic or ABS injection mold plastic, whatever this is, whatever it's called, these are quite good figures. The detail is very, very paintable. What a glorious compliment, Dano. I'm not sure if I want to do this guy. I think I'm going to go purples actually. Yeah, I'm doing it. Ooh, let's use this. This is a new colour that I haven't used. Lilac. This guy is called the Dahaka. D-A-H-A-K-A. Dahaka. And he is a adversary, which is a nemesis monster. He follows you around, wanting to eat babies or something. Eat your babies. He's a bad guy. So, purple is an unusual choice. I'll explain my thought process. I choose a colour palette for each little cycle. So the colour palette is linked into the colours of the cycles on the cycle books. So the first one was brown. So I added a lot of brown to the figures. Second one was red, so I did a lot of red, and the third one was purple. Now this guy can both be in cycle 3 and cycle 4. Cycle 4 is sandy, yellow, gold. So this guy needs to sit in a register of purple and or yellow. Now the advantage of purple and yellow is that those two colours are complementary. So we can get away with purple highlights and yellow shadows, and it should look quite good. In theory. In theory. Alright, well let's... G'day, Lexi. G'day, Bucks. So the other thing about this character, as Mossy starts eating, hungry little monster. He's also a bad guy. He's comprised of smoke and stuff. So we need him to look ephemeral and ethereal. Oh, someone asked me... I've been trying for years. Someone asked before about what I thought of Deno 2.0. The little rehash. It's incredible. It's great stuff. How someone is capable of doing that to make it look almost identical to me, except for my long flowing golden hair at the moment, but I'm absolutely flabbergasted. Watch yourself, you two. Yeah, I'm just very impressed. It's not something that I am capable of doing. Alright, well this was an interesting commencement of this piece. I'm not sure I like it, but I'm not sure I dislike it. I'm just not sure. Let's highlight it with some colours. Azatoth, this is actually a figure from Aeon Trespass Odyssey. This is a board game that I received in the mail earlier in the week. So yeah, I've been painting bits and pieces here or there, just so I can film a playthrough on my channel for the tubes. Oh yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? October. I should probably do an orc. I got a few orcs over there. What I should really do is finish my fucking diorama. But I'm practicing what I preach. I'm painting what I'm excited about, passionate about. Yeah, we should have the rules pack, I would say, this week or next week available for everyone for Crimson, so... Feels like there's a lot of excitement around it this year. Is anyone else feeling that, or is that just me? Hmm. Glad to hear. Alexi, very glad. Is this the year you're coming, Minimancer? You're making the trip? We're being soft as butter again. Hmm. Can marry me, Seb. Ooh. Actually, you could marry Mossy. Minimancer. Just so he can get a green card and live here. He can come and stay with us. Thumbs up from Mossy. It's happening.
Is it cute?
Mossy wants you to send her a photo. He should be asking the same thing of you. Are you cute?
Yeah.
Are you? No one can see you. Put your head in there, next to mine. That's just your finger.
There's a thumbs up.
That's very, very poor quality from you.
Waiting for the photo.
Get your foot on camera. See if we can get some subs from your feet. So you gotta take your slipper off.
Kind of a bit of attraction.
Is it? Alright, there you go. Free foot. Oh my god. Ugh, that is gross.
Many Mancer likes feet.
Does Mini Mancer like feet? Alright. Maybe this marriage could be on here. I can profit financially from this. Mini Mancer can profit because he moves to Australia. It's all good. We just got a subscription from Feet, Mossy.
Someone subscribed.
Yeah, because of your feet. No cashier, mate. Stop being so happy with yourself.
That's my money.
You're not getting a cent of that. This is actually a really interesting model that I would have liked to paint in a proper way to see what happened if I painted it in a proper way. Because I have no idea how I would handle this model if I was painting it like a... When I say a proper way, I mean like a full display version of this. Absolutely, mate. That's my feet money. I'm the one who had to put up with her shit this week. She does not. She does not want to do that, no. Anyone plays Marvel Snap? Anyone here plays Snap? I play Snap. New season just dropped this week, and I made it to Infinite this week. It's the first time I've ever done that. I feel pretty good. Took me 3 days. That's the fastest I've ever done it. And I wasn't playing an obscene amount either. Well, my plan for tomorrow's stream is to finish off all of the wave cycle 4 monsters, which is this guy and the Mitre score, so that I can prepare to film a playthrough of this cycle. However, I will not be filming that playthrough for a little while. Then we're going to paint the models from cycle 5, and they are some of the coolest. There is a model there that I'm really looking forward to painting, which is called Fleece. Which is a very cool figure. I think the figures in this cycle are some of the most interesting. Yeah, Earthlease KDM, absolutely. There's no cycle 6 in this game, to my knowledge. There's just cycles 4 and 5. Yep. That is it. And the colour palette that I've selected for that 3rd or 5th cycle rather is my favourite colour palette to paint with, teal. So that's going to be an enjoyable paint. Yeah, that's the big bad of the whole campaign. I think that may prove to not be the case. But we'll see. Alright, so I've done a lot of preparatory work for some airbrushing that I hope is going to work. Yeah. Well, look, the answer to that question is you focus on very specific elements and put in the detail. You know, you keep it very simple and just have key elements be the focal point. And the rest of the stuff you don't overcrowd with detail, especially on a board games piece, you know. Alright, Chuck. Save our bacon. That's my signature. Yeah, it's a great question, Charles. So I played Oathsworn, and I made the decision not to open the boxes so that there would be a cool surprise when we open the boxes. But it meant we played against unpainted figures because you open the box basically right as you're about to face the bad guy. So yeah, I don't know what those boxes have at all. I have no clue. So I'm not sure if they'll be an integral component to the game or if they'll just be like a, you know, here's a cool new Titan that you can use. I'm not sure. And I also don't think they're in this cycle. I think they're in the 5th cycle. Maybe. Not sure. I do have friends. Very few. And very few of those people are painters. But I do have friends. Alright, I'll use that. Oof, this is a bold move. That could be months away, mate. I'll have probably finished a whole playthrough or 2 by then. Maybe. Yeah, I think that's probably what will end up happening. But happy to do so. We'll definitely be doing some gold weapons. So I reckon we may just need to darken this up a bit. The colour palette in this artwork I think is quite dark. He's like a smoke monster. So may actually just do a big wash of black right now before some highlights. I think that's right. Never be afraid to fuck up, friends. What's the worst that can happen? I mean, in this instance, I'd have to pay $700 to get a replacement model. Aside from that, we're good. It's a very Deno thing to say, mate. That's looking cooler. It's actually quite funny. Got lots of cool, interesting colours happening here. All this preparatory work has left us with quite a cool underlay. Arriba. Yepa. Speedy Gonzalez. I just love that little guy. Arriba, ándale, yepa. So I recently saw, there's a dude who does a lot of great Kingdom Death commissions. His name's Lorenzo Sasso, and he sort of has made his name as a commission painter by painting super cool Kingdom Death paint jobs. He also got commissioned to do some Aeon Trespass, and he recently posted a picture of, I think it was the Cyclonus from Cycle 2, and it's absolutely beautiful, absolutely stunning. So, first of all, if you don't follow Lorenzo Sasso, you should go check him out. But I realised that I don't have the energy, the desire to paint to that standard on every model that I paint. And I think when I was younger, that was always what I thought I had to do, was paint to the very best of my ability on every figure. So that not being the case has actually made me enjoy my painting more. Because now I know I don't have to do that level of quality. Yeah, good one, Cragzog. On everything. Very good painter. You can tell just by looking at his stuff. But anyway, second part about my little diatribe is, if I wanted to have stuff painted to that level, I would pay someone. But there's not really many games where it straddles the niche of, I love this game so much that I want to have the very best painted figures that I can, and I don't want to paint these models myself. Kingdom Death is one where I want to paint the models myself. This game, I enjoy it. I don't think I wanted to spend shit tons of money to have it be an incredible painted version of it. So yeah. Anyway, go follow Lorenzo. While you're at it, go follow Kiki's Miniature Mania. Yeah, how good is it? All by myself, don't wanna live all by myself anymore. Don't wanna live, I don't wanna live anymore. feel the need for just a little bit more airbrushing of colours. I think I might use paints. So one thing that I do probably not talk about enough in my videos that I do in general is just the decision that I make about what colours I airbrush, because sometimes I airbrush inks or contrast paints which are transparent, and other times I airbrush full colours, opaque colours which are opaque. Good work, Dano. And sometimes I use colours that straddle the difference. No, new job starts on Tuesday, buddy. So 2 days from now, I'll be spending my evening streaming the night before I start my brand new job. So excited. Anyway, yes. So I'm gonna do an opaque color now, as opposed to a transparent color. Because I actually want to change the tones. I want to make the color darker. I use transparent colors when I want to filter things. There used to be a green tower alone on the street. You remain a light on the dark side of me. Love became a rock that's high enough to hear. But did you know that when it snows, my eyes become large and the light that you shine can be seen? Baby, I compare you to a kiss from a rose on a grave. Ooh, the more I get of you, the stranger it feels, yeah. And now that your rose is in bloom, a light hits the gloom on the grave. Na 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 na. What a great tune. Absolute banger. Yeah, I don't know what he's singing about. Alright. And put a contrast paint over it now. Agaros Dunes, I think. This is a very wishy-washy hodgepodge model with a lot of homogenized details, and I'm not sure how else to paint it other than what I've done, which is homogenized colors that sort of blur into each other. Oh my god, it's so funny that you say that, Simon, because my girlfriend has been playing a large amount of Celine Dion recently, and unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on your perspective, uh, I know most of the lyrics to most of the songs that she sings. Because my mum used to be a big Celine Dion fan when I was growing up. This is actually where most of my song knowledge comes from, is from my childhood. And yeah, so I know a lot of songs from that era. Love came. My heart will go on and on. uh, Great show. Great show. Is Low-Key the Dean the best character in that show? He very well could be. Very well could be. Here to tell you in a rapping way, your pay will come on another day. Ow. I don't hate this. I don't hate it. It fits in with the theme and the vibe. I'm going to let it dry and then I'll do a few little tweaks. It does look shadowy. It does look ephemeral and ethereal. It's got blue, it's got purple and brown tones, which is good. Something about it feels unfinished though, so I think I'm going to have to just have a continual little play with it. But having said that, this stream is just about over because I have quite a few things to do today, and it's also grand final day, so I shall be watching the grand finals. It's rugby league, my friend. Yeah, sport that I've grown up playing and watching. They have a big day, big spectacle day. They play 4 different grand finals from 4 different sort of competitions of rugby league that all finish on that day. So it's good. He's Dom. He's good. Another day, another dime, another rum, another dollar. Cause I don't squat. Cause I'm scared of it. It's a good moment. It's a good moment. Yeah, no, I'm very excited for it. It's a big day on the calendar for me. I don't get to. I choose to. Just relax and enjoy it all. I could probably rattle off about 15 of my favourite Dean Pelton moments, but my number one is probably "And Jesus wept." That's good stuff. Good stuff. Alright friends, I'm going to leave it there for the day. Hope you all have a wonderful day. We will be back tomorrow night painting the big dragon thing, the Midas score. Probably, and maybe finishing off this Kingdom Death Girl. Which is Aya, Beyond the Wall, Before the Wall. Wearing Vagabond armor. I also got this guy out to paint. Look at this guy. He was in my video that I did recently about my top favourite Kingdom Death models, and so was this guy. So I put two of the ones that I was talking about are ready to paint. And then this guy, Morg. It's a good time to be me, friends. I'm feeling good about painting, feeling good about progress on my Kingdom Death collection, so yeah. Alright, that's it. I'll catch you all in the next stream. See you all then, friends. Big Dano out.